Happy holidays!
Hi, welcome everyone to depression-youarenotalone.com. To my left is Shannon,
Hello.
and behind the scenes is John,
Bah humbug.
What?
or AKA the Scrooge,
Yeah.
and my name
The
is
Grinch.
Lou.
You ain't
The
getting
Grinch.
shit for Christmas.
Today we're going to talk about the holidays again. We did it last episode, but we're doing it again because it's important. This time of year is difficult for a lot of people and great for a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm. Mixture of both.
Remember when we were children, how we would look forward to this time of year?
Oh, God. I still do.
Having time off from school,
Yeah.
opening presents, Santa
Santa
Claus
Claus
coming.
coming. Down
I think
the
the last time
fireplace.
Santa Claus came to our house, he actually took stuff. I
God.
think it was a stereo. I don't know. So, but anyway, the reason we're doing this is because we share our experiences, not necessarily to tell people, you need to do this or you need to do that, but sharing your experiences I think is important because I know this for a fact. When you're feeling down or when you're, with depression, or it doesn't even have to be clinical depression, it could be situational depression, it could be anything, where you feel that it's just you going through it, I know that. I know that from other people, talking to other people through the years, and I know it from my personal experience. You go to the store, you go to the mall, you go here, you go there, and people are just doing things, right? They're going about their business. You don't know what they're going through, but you know what you are. And sometimes it feels like it's just you. You're the only one going through it. It can be very lonely,
Yeah, of course it could be.
a very lonely feeling. Now, we've talked about, John and I have lost both our parents, how that's changed the holidays. I've talked about how my 3 daughters have grown up, scattered, moved around this great large country we have, starting families as well, so they now have their thing going on. And our house has fewer and fewer people for the holidays, which, it's not always the case, but it's very common.
Yeah.
And then you hold on to memories of past Christmases or Hanukkah or whatever, and then when things change, it can become very sad.
Very.
It can become very sad.
Depending.
It's nice to have the memories, though, and I think we should all be grateful when we do have nice memories. But things do change. For example, with Shannon's mom, she is declining.
Yeah.
She's declining rapidly. This may be, she doesn't even live here anymore, so Shannon's going to have to go see her.
Yeah.
This may be the last time
Maybe.
you see your mom.
Yeah. I gotta get up there fast.
And Shannon's mom was someone who loved the holidays.
Oh, gosh. She would just bring over everything known to man. Everything.
As sad as it is that it's life that this situation exists, also have fond memories
Of course.
of her during the holidays.
Yeah. And dad, not just mom. Mom and dad.
Your dad is taking care of your mom. It's
Yeah.
a different situation.
Yeah, but your father didn't cook, but Shorty made the killer
Yeah.
fried
Dad had to
oyster.
learn how to cook,
Okay.
though. Yeah, he had to
Oh.
learn. He's learned quickly.
Her mom was like our mom.
They
Where
even had the same nickname.
They had the same
the same
nickname,
nickname,
Shorty.
because they were short.
Yeah.
Anyway, sometimes it could have been super tall.
Well, yeah.
Shorty.
But they wanted to make the holidays special.
Yeah, they did, and they did. They achieved that.
And with them, it was a lot of times through food. Everybody,
That was food big time.
it was through
Big
food.
smorgasbord of food.
Yeah, one year
Enough
one
to
would cook the
feed
turkey,
80
the other year
people.
they'd alternate on what they were doing.
Yeah,
So they had it down to a science.
yeah, they did. They
I mean,
learned it.
To the point where, in our case with our mom, when she started to get sick, which we really didn't know what was going on, is remember the giveaway? She didn't feel like cooking,
Right.
which was, whoa.
Yeah. Well, that
Something's
is
not right.
That's a sure sign.
Because we used to tell her, okay, you don't have to make all of that.
Yeah.
Made all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
We used to tell you, you don't have to go that far. You don't have to do all
Yeah.
of that. It's too much.
Yeah.
No, I want everybody to eat and this and that. Dessert, she was an amazing cook. To where when she started to get sick is, I just don't want to cook.
It's just
I don't
too
want to do
tired
it.
and everything,
Which,
yeah.
what happened? Less than a year later, she passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a sign because that was so much about her, right? Wanting to take care of others and cooking for them, and she'd cook for the whole neighborhood. When she didn't want to anymore, that was a clear sign something was wrong. And within less than a year, she passed away.
And partially I blame the doctors for that because she had heart surgery. That's what was keeping her from doing anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. They didn't find out she had liver cancer until she went in.
Until they wanted to do open heart.
Until they wanted to replace the valve instead
Yeah.
of fix it.
Yeah.
That's when they finally found out. Meanwhile, she was getting indigestion on heartburn all the time, and that's a sign of liver issues.
Well, we don't have to
A
get
lot
in.
of cases.
We don't have to get into
The doctor just
all of that.
prescribed antacids, and of course, nobody bothered to check.
But we're the greatest medical in the world. Greatest medical. We're not going to get into that because people might think it's politics, which it's not. But it's amazing in this country how people have to go to other countries to get the same medications they can get here for a lot less money,
A lot less, yeah.
and then people do without. But we're not going to get into that. This is us sharing our experiences, and I know this when you talk to young people. Yeah, whatever. Okay, you tell them something goes in one ear out the other. It's still worth repeating and saying things, and as a parent, I think we have that responsibility because I remember with my dad when I was young, saying things to me at the time, whatever. What? Like when I turned 16, and I now had a car, I can drive by myself, and him telling me, you respect the ladies. Because he knew now I have a car, right? I'm going to go out and do what young boys do, go out on dates and stuff. And he said, you respect the ladies because one day you might have a daughter. Mm-hmm. He was wrong. Three. The point I'm trying to make is at the time I'm 16, and for any 16, if there's a 16-year-old watching this, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, your head is so far up your ass it's not even funny. Mine was. Pretty much every 16-year-old.
Of course, they're 16.
You're young, you know. But I will say this: he did say that to me at the time. Yeah, whatever.
Of course.
But I didn't forget it.
Yeah, looking back on it, you remember.
I didn't forget it.
Yeah.
Never
16.
underestimate the power of the brain. You may hear something today, blow it off, ignore it, but then something in life
It
might bring it back.
resonated. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, and that brought it. I've thought about that, and I've always been, I believe, respectful to the ladies.
The ladies.
Dogs.
I owned a business where most of my employees were women. I treated them with respect. They made sure I knew that they appreciated it, which I didn't think they needed to, because I think we should respect one another anyway, right? I don't think you deserve a pat on the back for being respectful. It's how you should be.
You don't deserve
No.
a pat on the
But
back.
I take that, I go back from that to what my dad said when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and it resonated with me. Again, at the time, not so much. But it's important, I think, that we share our experiences. I admire those people on YouTube. I've seen videos, they're in tears, they're talking about how they feel, what they're going through with depression or any other illness. And I admire them for sharing that.
Of course, it's important to hear other people's stories.
And again, I believe it's very important so people know when they're struggling with something, it's not just you. I know that's not comforting at the time, but I think it's important when people show they've been through these things, or they're battling, or they're still here, they're still fighting, and I think that should motivate people to know that you can as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I've always said that the things I've accomplished with battling depression, that I've always said this. I don't believe that other people can do as well as I could. I believe a lot of people can do a lot better than what I did because I lost too much time, wasted too much time. Didn't have the resources that we have today. Kept my mouth shut, didn't tell people. My friends didn't know.
That's the big right there.
Yeah, but a lot of people too, it's the other thing is they pull away when they hear things.
Yeah.
Someone says, you know,
Certainly.
I'm battling severe depression. Some people can back away and go, whoa, I don't know if I want to touch this.
Yeah.
And that's lack of support. As we've said before, that's why our website is youarenotalone.com, because people feel alone. This time of year is a difficult time of year for a lot of people. Not just not having family, it could be finances. Parents can't afford to buy their children gifts.
Multitude of things.
There's so many reasons that can make this time of year so depressing.
But it doesn't even have to, even if you don't have the money to buy gifts, there's other things that you can do. You can cook something that they like. You can get a card. You can...
You know, but as a parent, I know how parents feel. You want to please your kids, at least this time of year. You want to see that smile on their face.
Especially when you have little kids that don't understand.
Children, of course, they don't understand
I
money.
mean, you have teenagers. You can explain to them we don't have any money. You know, blah blah blah. Explain the situation, and they'll get it. But little kids are expecting Santa.
Well, what you just said about teenagers,
Yeah.
I believe this. There are some parents that don't want their kids to know. I believe there's
Oh,
a certain
yeah.
age you need to start telling your kids, hey,
Yeah,
listen, I
there are.
wish I can do this for you.
Yeah.
I wish I can, mom and dad can buy this for you, whatever. Money's tight or whatever. To start teaching them, too, that money doesn't fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
Well, I would say most parents don't even, 90% probably, don't even teach their kids about finance.
But
I mean, basic home finance. They don't even teach them that.
You know, but they should. But, you know, I remember years ago with the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Hey, I love them.
Parents were beating each other up
Yeah,
in
they-
stores
Yeah,
to buy their kid a
mom
Cabbage
wasn't,
Patch.
But
Pokemon,
I
I
had
think,
to have
happened with
mine.
that, too.
I had several. I love them.
That was ridiculous.
No, but what you said was a good point. Obviously, when you have a child that's 5, 6, 7 years old, you know, you can't, they're not going to
They're not going to
They're not
understand.
gonna take that
I
information
agree
in.
with you there.
Of course, that's understandable. But when you're a teenager, you have a teenager 15, 16, 17, and, you know, start letting them know, hey, mom and dad, if we could, listen, I wish I could buy you this. I wish I could buy you that.
Yeah.
Hey, you buy your kid a beat up old car, and you're like, what, that's it?
Hey,
Well,
it's got 4 wheels and it
Back in
runs.
the good old days, wow, a car.
Yeah,
Yes,
now it's ew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ew.
it wasn't like that for me when I was
Well,
young.
listen, the Lamborghini is on back order.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell my kid. The Lamborghini is on back order, so you're going to have to suck it up for a little while.
No, my
Yeah.
first car cost me $200 and had rotten floorboards.
My first
Oh, your
car was
Mustang.
$1,000.
Mustang, yeah.
Yeah, you had a Mustang. You should have kept that.
I know I
Hey,
should have kept it.
My
classic
first
today.
one was
Yeah.
$1,000. It was a Plymouth Horizon, two-toned, and it only had 30,000 miles on it. 30,000. And if you put 4 people in the car and you were going up a hill, a biker could pass you. But we got up the hill and it worked. It got me through all of college. It got me through everything.
And when I found out I had
Might have been
brought out
1,500.
floorboards, the way I found out, I went through a puddle really quick, and my friend that was sitting next to me in the passenger seat, he got soaked. Came up through the carpet.
Well, you know what? I
My-
didn't complain back then.
My first
I
one was a
happy.
1971 Ford LTD. You could put 10 people in there.
I don't know what that is,
Yeah,
but
you got
okay.
that for free.
Yeah,
You did? How'd you get a car for free?
my dad gave it to me.
Okay.
That was my first car. Then after that, I had a Trans Am, but that was my first car. He even said to me, you know, you're going to learn. You need to gain experience driving. You know, you being sensible, of course,
Yeah.
which is what I try to do too. That's what you
That's the car I learned in.
try to do as a parent, right? You try to be sensible, and say, okay, I'm not going to get you even if you could afford it. I'm not going to get you an expensive car
No.
until I know you're responsible enough, and you know, and all
So
of
the
that.
Porsche's off the table.
No, it's sitting in the driveway all torn apart. Well,
So.
yeah, and the Porsche's still in the
But
driveway.
but it's for some parents it's tough, especially when their children are little, where they, you know, if they're going through financial problems or mental problems, where they're like, oh, God, you know, I used to love to go shopping for my kids. I just don't have it in me. Mentally, I don't have it in me. And if the parent lost a parent or lost someone else,
Especially close to Christmas, close to the holidays.
This
Right,
is
that's
the
what we're
hardest
talking about.
time,
We're talking
yeah,
because
this is
of the
hardest
holidays.
time.
It's hard any time of year,
Of
but
course,
it's
this is
harder.
very hard.
A birthday
Yeah.
is harder, where
It
it's
strikes up a memory.
you know
I mean,
today
like,
would have been Mom's birthday. Mom died 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that,
Yeah.
all of that brings up
the missing of the person at the dining
can bring
room
up
table.
a lot of heartache and painful times at this time of year. So we're talking from experience. We said Shannon, it may be the last time she sees her mom.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's life. We're getting older.
Oof.
As we get older, our parents got older.
Yeah.
Our grandparents are gone. It's
Yeah.
you're not always prepared for it. I think in your case, you're more prepared, just like we
Well, I mean,
were.
how can I not be? I'm
Right,
watching
just-
her decline.
Just like we were with our mom, we had a little bit of time to see where things were going to end up. Unlike our dad, which we didn't have that,
It happened.
and it was very shocking, very confusing. It was. We don't have to tell people; they understand, the ones that have been through it.
Cranial hemorrhage is not a good thing.
But we hope that our viewers, our friends from Twitter, and those that go to our website enjoy this time of year, create memories,
Yeah.
because we hold on to the ones we had, ones we have. We have great
Of course.
memories,
Yes. Fantastic memories.
and those nice memories do make it better.
Oh, I put you a smile on your face.
You know, it gets better
Or
in
a tear in
time.
your eye, or whatever way you
It could be
look at it.
both, and that's
Yeah.
fine. To me, that I think that's fine. There's nothing
Well, of
wrong
course
with
it's fine.
nothing wrong with getting emotional, and you know, it's also a way of honoring them. I believe, you know, thinking of them, remembering them, that things they said, things they did, how they made your holiday better. I think by
yeah.
thinking of that too, maybe as a parent, you make your kids' holiday better because your parents did it for you. Of course, there
Make
are
the best
those.
of
There,
it.
of course, there are those that, yeah, not my parents. They weren't. Sure, they weren't that.
Well, not every
But then you do
parent.
better.
Yeah,
How
then-
many families don't celebrate Christmas or anything as a family anymore?
Oh, I don't know. I
Well, I think
hope they all do.
I would hope. I'm sure. Well, a lot do,
A
of
lot,
course.
I'm
Oh, a lot do, yeah.
But I think what's makes things hard too is in this country we live in such a large country, and it just is what it is. I mean, your kids grow up, they go to college, they end up getting jobs, and they're no longer in the neighborhood or down the street, or
No, they're some other
oftentimes
state.
in the same state. And then if they start a family, and then you have
They might go to somebody else's
and then
house.
you're an
in-laws.
in-law
Yeah.
for your
Yeah.
son-in-law or daughter-in-law, but they also have parents, so then they have
Yeah,
to split it up
split it
between
up.
you and them, and it's it's all normal. They have to
It
try
is
to
normal.
accommodate everyone, which is not easy. We understand that. I've had Thanksgiving where one of my daughters will be here for Thanksgiving, but she won't be here for Christmas, or she won't be here for Thanksgiving, vice versa.
She'll be at the
Because they have
husband's.
to, and one of my daughter's family lives in Canada,
Yeah.
and
So
we're in
she-
South Florida, so we're,
Lot of traveling.
You're not going to do both,
No.
but we understand
You split it
that.
up. Yeah.
We
We
un-
get one out of the holidays from with her.
We understand that, but our suggestion is to reach out to anyone you know, pull them in. I know we talked about this the last episode, but some things are worth repeating. Pull them in, and we're not talking to people as if they not aware or anything. But this time of year can be very, a lot going on. And sometimes you can overlook things.
Pick up a phone, make a call.
I said this before, and I'll say this again. You have a cell phone. There's nothing like calling someone and hearing their voice.
Yeah, no text.
Yeah, not the texting bullshit.
That's so.
Texting, listen, for, acquaintances.
Well, of course. I'm
That's
talking about
different.
family. I'm
Okay.
talking about family.
I'm not anti-texting. I text as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I'm
not.
talking about family. Pick up the phone, even if you haven't talked to them in a while. Just do it because you don't
But-
know when this.
Family or close friends, instead of a text with Christmas trees or
Yeah.
smiley faces, all these emojis, a phone call. Hearing someone's voice
Make their
can be very
day.
nice. And when someone is struggling, to hear someone's voice. Because I think when you're struggling too, what can happen with a lot of people is, wow, you couldn't even call me, you just sent me a text.
Yeah.
I really am alone.
Even if it's just for
I mean, some people
2-minute
might not think,
conversation.
some people might not say, oh, I'm so grateful that you text me. When
don't
you're,
think anybody's
when,
gonna say that.
when, no, some people in some cases, oh, that's nice, I got a nice text from so-and-so. But if you're battling a mental illness or you're going through
Pick it
severe
up.
depression, you may take it a different way of, wow, you couldn't even call me.
Yeah.
Wow, I really feel alone. I really feel alone.
Sometimes just hearing that voice.
Because if it's someone you know, if you call them and speak to them, you know them well, they're a family member or someone you've known for so many years. You can tell in the tone of their voice, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. Maybe you can then ask them, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? I noticed, you don't seem yourself, or by hearing their voice. Oftentimes, if you text them, oh, Merry Christmas, and they text you back, thank you, you too, or something, you're getting nothing out of that.
Mm-mm.
You're getting nothing out of that.
Mm-mm.
That's why hearing of a person's voice, seeing them if possible, is so important.
Yeah.
It's just so important. You can't replace that with a text.
No, you can't.
Again, I'm not anti-texting. I text, but sometimes,
There's a
Do
time
the
for,
right thing. You do
There's
the.
a time for a text and there's
Of
a time
course
for a
there
phone call.
is, and this would be the time for a phone call.
and if you
If any.
suspect something's wrong, that someone is going to shut down and they're not calling you anymore, they've had an issue in the past, and you start to see them. Wait a minute, I haven't heard from so and so.
Yeah. I better call him.
Call them.
Better call
Speak
'em.
to them.
Yeah.
Speak to them. Imagine having a therapy session, if you're struggling, with a therapist or a psychiatrist through a text.
Oh my gosh, I don't think that would go so well.
See, to me, even telehealth is wonderful
Oh,
because
I think it is.
it's wonderful. But in some cases, I mentioned this episodes in the past where a therapist or a psychiatrist can see your body language if they're in the room with you. They can see your eyes. If you're trying to avoid a subject,
A good one.
which is difficult sometimes to do in telehealth. So call, reach out, talk to those you care about. If you can't be with them, hopefully you can.
Yeah.
But we know that's very difficult. So, folks, from the crew here,
From our house to yours,
we wish you all
happy holidays.
happy holidays. We hope you create great memories from
Have
this one.
fun. Eat a lot of food. Bake a lot. Get that smell going through the house. It's delicious.
Great, now you're making me hungry.
I know.
But we wish you happy holidays
We do.
and create some memories this year that you'll have for the rest of your life, hopefully.
And be kind.
So everyone, take care of yourselves, take care of your family, and we will
We'll
be
see
back.
ya.
We will be back soon. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a like. We really appreciate your support. And our website is depression-youarenotalone.com. Take care of everyone.
Bye.
Happy holidays.